With a funeral expense trust, you can purchase up to $9,000, and that's going to be an approved spend down as far as Medicaid is concerned. Your primary residence will be exempt if you are married, but it is not exempt if you are single looking to qualify for benefits. One vehicle will be exempt if you're married. Otherwise, any vehicles are going to be considered countable assets. Your personal property is going to be completely exempt from Medicaid. And then I mentioned that funeral expense trust. So how do we spend down assets? We're going to pay off all of our bills. We're going to pre-plan for our funeral. You can improve exempt assets. So if I'm a married couple and it's time for a new roof or new windows, I can do that. I can use that as an approved spend down. And then finally, I'm going to reposition the excess countable assets into a Medicaid compliant annuity. So what exactly is a Medicaid compliant annuity? Like, why is this different from any other annuity that's out in the industry today? Well, the Medicaid annuity has added restrictions. So these annuities are irrevocable. So once they're in place, it is what it is. We're not making any changes. Typically, the state Medicaid agency is going to be the primary beneficiary of the annuity. They're going to be non-assignable. You can't sell these on the third marketplace, and they have zero cash value. So there really is no purpose to sell that. Nobody wants to purchase an annuity without any value. The most common strategy is for married couples. The most business we see does come from elder law attorneys and financial advisors, insurance agents like yourself, working with married couples, because with a married couple, we are able to reposition 100% of the excess countable assets into the Medicaid compliant annuity. So as an example, if I have a married couple, they have $500,000 of assets. I know that they can retain 160. That leaves 340 on the table that either needs to be spent down on care, or we can reposition it into the annuity, which generates income for that community spouse. So it's going to provide equal monthly payments to the community spouse to ensure that they do not become impoverished. You know, the government understands that while they're going to be subsidizing care for one, they don't want to be subsidizing care for two. So this is why this is all legal and an available option. So when you're applying for the Medicaid compliant annuity, that's also when you're applying for Medicaid. So Medicaid knows exactly where all of the assets have gone. Like with that married couple, they know that we had 500. They know that they get to retain 160, and they know that we're utilizing the Medicaid compliant annuity to create that income stream. So let's go over this example here. We have Marshall, who's 81, his wife Elise. You know, Elise has done a really great job of taking care of Marshall for many years in the home, but it's just come to a point where she can't do it anymore. So they're going to put him in skilled nursing. They found a really great facility. And there are a lot of really great facilities out there. I feel like sometimes people have this idea in their mind that it's like 4 white walls with a metal bed, but that's simply not how it is, especially today. My father-in-law was in assisted living, and his place was nicer than my house. So, I mean, there are some really nice facilities. But we know that this married couple, Marshall and Elise, have excess countable assets. They found this great place that the cost of care is $9,000. In their situation, they have $238,000 at risk. We know that Marshall's income is $2,800 and Elise's is just over that $2,000 mark. Now, Marshall's income is going to go towards his cost of care, the Medicaid copay. And then Medicaid is going to pick up the difference between this $2,800 and the $9,000, but not until we utilize this annuity and reposition these assets. So in this situation with a married couple, you might be wondering, like, how do you determine the length of the annuity? Well, the length of the annuity can be up to, in this case, Marshall's life expectancy. Most states just use the Social Security life expectancy table. So I'm just guessing, but let's say he has a 10-year life expectancy according to that table. You could purchase, I don't know if I just said 10 months or 10 years. I meant 10 years. You could purchase a 10-year annuity. Like, that is considered Medicaid compliant. But in this situation, we don't want to extend it to his full life expectancy. We want to make it shorter so that she's getting back all of the assets. So in this case, we feel comfortable with a 48-month annuity. We feel that that's going to create enough monthly income that she can maintain her lifestyle within the community.